Happy to be here joining Kenyans in celebration of Kenya at 60 here in Dallas. Dallas happens to be a place where we have the largest concentration of the Kenyan diaspora. And so I'm happy that the diaspora have been able to come together, invite their friends to celebrate this landmark in Kenya's history. We look forward to having more of such events, much more so for promotion of trade and investment between Kenya and the United States, and for more of our friends here in the United States to visit Kenya as tourists. But I'm happy that we're such a strong diaspora group, and we look forward to working closely with them in the future.
We never used to have a PS for diaspora. Right now we have an office for diaspora. Again, the fact that Ambassador Amayo was here today, that is, it is big for us. Us being a new, elected members of KDAC, but yet that ambassador honored our request for him to come and grace our occasion. We find that to be a step in the right direction, that this government is willing to work with us, and so I will take that as, a step in the right direction, and it's just the beginning. We will see where it goes from here.
One last question. On a lighter note, your memories about Jamhuri Day back in Kenya.
Okay.
And how long have you been here?
I have been in America for 20, 25. Oh my God, it's probably more than that. But I usually count with my son.
Okay.
My son is 23, so I usually add a few years. I came to America right after high school. So I worked a little bit in Kenya, but I cannot even tell you the banking system, and all that. I don't know all that, because I came here, young. So we can just say that I've lived most of my life in America than I have lived in Kenya. So most of my life has been in America.
So you don't have any memories of Jamhuri?
Oh no, I do have a lot of memories. I came here as a grown-up.
Yes.
So during Jamhuri days in Kenya, my dad, who's here and he was in the audience today, he would take me to the stadium, take me and my last brother to the stadium, and my favorite was the ice cream. We would get ice cream. But what I really, really loved is the band, like the matching, the guard, and so I loved that. And I think that was maybe part of my motivation for getting the children to do the orchestra, because I just loved to see, it was the National Guard, just the matching, the way they would go, together and all that, and nobody is actually making a mistake. I loved that. Right. I really loved that. I have great memories of that. I remember the first time when, I don't know if it was Jamhuri, but it was one of the occasions, and, people started, coming down in parachutes. And it was a big deal in Kenya. It was a big deal, so thinking about, where we were before, I got to witness the first person that landed in a parachute in a stadium.
Happy 60th birthday to our beloved Republic of Kenya. On this very important day, I am reminded of the reasons why our Pan-African fathers met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in 1963. Their whole agenda was the creation of Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that had one military, an Africa that had one monetary policy, and an Africa that had one currency. That dream was not to be realized. Today, we are still struggling with the building of an Africa that is united, an Africa that speaks with one voice. I would say, as we celebrate Kenya's 60th birthday, let's remind ourselves for the reasons why our Pan-African fathers met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in 1963. Their unfinished business that they started back then, we have a responsibility to finish the unfinished business. Africa can no longer continue to be exploited. The mothers and fathers of humanity can no longer continue to be treated like 10th class citizens. We were before the rest of the world was. Let me say that again. Africa was before the rest of the world was. We must reclaim that pedestal which is the tallest that any living human being can occupy. It belongs to the Africans.
From Dallas Diaspora is the face of Kenya. Come join us. Happy Jamhuri Day.
Thank you. Just one more thing. A refresh memory of Jamhuri Day back in Kenya, those days. What do you remember? What are the memories?
I'm not shaking my head to say no.
Yeah.
I remembered Kenya yetu, Kenya ni nchi ya ajabu. That, and then Kenya kipenzi changu. Everybody in the diaspora knows that's my favorite. For real. And having come to this country and seen how the people of this country love their nation has made us learn and develop and to know and acknowledge and appreciate. Even after 60 years of independence, I've always told my American friends, you never had internet in 60 years of independence. We do have internet in 60 years of independence, so we are way ahead. I am so proud to be Kenyan, and that's what I've always said. I'm Kenyan American. I'm not American Kenyan. Thank you.
Thank you. Shukran sana.
You know, what I know, and I have been, talking to people, readership, and pastors. You know, the Bible tells us to pray for the readers. It's a command. And also, the Bible tells us to watch and pray. So, as we know what's going on in Kenya, sometimes people killing one another, sometimes people are fighting one to another. What we are supposed to do, like here in America, even if we talk, it will not help. It will not help. So what will help is for us to tell people to watch what is going on in Kenya and pray.
One more question. You said you've been here quite a long, over 20 years. What memories do you have about Jamhuri events back at home?
Oh my God, Jamhuri event. I remember we used to go, I come from Machakos. So we used to go to our stadium in Kenyatta Stadium. That's what it was called. By then it was very small. So I remember how the parades were then. They may not be as good as now, but we still used to go to parade. And I remember as a young, as a high school student, just going to that event and never missing it. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Best.
So tell me your name and how old are you?
Okay.
Yeah, no, just look.
Hi, my name is Jabali Ramato. I really enjoyed this function. We had practicing for it, and I was really nervous when when it was the day and everybody was there. but I realized that I only had to march for like a couple of minutes and I could go play on the bouncy house. I was supposed to like change into a suit, but then my dad said that wouldn't be a good idea because I'd still be playing if I wore a suit.
I saw you marching with the seniors, seniors and seniors. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel important. I was a little scared.
The military?
Yeah. I was like a little scared, but then I remembered my mom was in the military. So that made me feel better.
What do you like about Kenya?
Yes. My friend lives in Kenya, Nairobi, and we have like really good times whenever we're together. And his name is Bill, so yeah, what I like about Kenya is my friend Bill.
Thank you.
No.
Definitely. One thing, Jamhuri Day was one of the holidays. I mean, like I said, it was kind of like a beginning of December holidays, because after Jamhuri Day in Kenya, it's usually like the start of December holidays. So growing up, we used to watch, the celebration with on TV. So it was actually a big holiday because he was away from school. And so we used to watch the celebrations on TV. And sometimes if you're lucky, your parents will take you to Uhuru Park and observe all that. So it brings back memories from growing up as a kid. Yeah.
So we are happy that we had good food. The vibe was amazing. That was the same vibe in Kenya. We met as a family. In Kenya back then, I don't know if it's still the same now, after the 10th, businesses were done. And now to have that same vibe where we are feeling the festivities coming in, we are eating, we are